Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is delighting in deliciousness, actually celebrating deliciousness in life and deliberately dedicating time, energy, and emotion to that delight because it enlivens us. It produces all kinds of positive chemistry in our body and being, and um, it just helps to train our brain in positive pathways. So before we get started, we'll take a couple minutes to get present. But good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. It's great to have you joining us this morning, and welcome to everybody else who's joining us. Welcome, Robin. Great to have you here this morning. And we're wrapping up the week with delighting in deliciousness because we'll talk more after we get centered a bit. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, all your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables us to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the deliciousness, delighting in deliciousness. Yesterday we talked about fear and how it can be a catalyst for positive action. And, we also spoke a bit about the notion of positive and negative emotions rather than, usually we eschew the negative emotions, push them away, deny them, fight them, suppress them, etc., rather than what we're calling negative emotions, rather than using them as a communication, interacting with them as a communication. Anyway, today, so we have culturally, I think we have a habit of focusing on negative emotions, and we don't necessarily spend time and energy cultivating our skill and ability with the experience and expression of the emotions we consider positive. And the fact is that with the negative, in big air quotes, negative emotions or depression, anger, sadness, grief, guilt, etc., we tend to practice them over and over. And what happens is it's creating these neural pathways and synapses that become more and more deeply entrenched and also manifest in physiology that correlates with all those emotions. So why not practice the fun ones and start allowing our bodies to be flooded with all these positive chemistry, sets of chemistry that will enliven us, that will revitalize us and support us. And so that's what we're talking about today, and delighting in deliciousness. So let's think, it's interesting to me when I think of really full and rich emotions, I find that I use a lot of words related to food. Even full and rich, those are words that can be related to food. Delicious, like you can taste it, it's so good. I think that well, taste and smell actually is the strongest memory that we can have, is smell. Like that triggers memory more powerfully than pretty much anything else. But I think that there's something to this whole tasting. And I don't know about you, but I can, and I don't think it's a real synesthesia, but when I see color, it's truly delicious to me. Like it fills me up as if I were eating something wonderfully delicious. Good morning, Dido. So good to have you joining us this morning. So we're talking about cultivating or delighting in deliciousness. And so I invite you to just sort of think about something that sparks delight in you. For me, just really allowing myself to see the beauty of nature, to drink it in, again, sort of food stuff, gustatory stuff, to drink it in, to absorb it, and allow yourself to experience whatever it is that brings you this sense of joy or upliftment. And like I can even feel the sensations of it in your body. Allow yourself to really experience it. It's so funny because I was going to do this and Rosalind says an embracing hug, snuggling pet alongside your leg, the first sips of a glass of wine on a Friday night to welcome the weekend. All of these things, yay, Rosalind, delicious. And as we allow ourselves to immerse ourselves in these positive feelings, what's happening is we're actually affecting our brain. And the thing is, so many of us, because we're enculturated to being serious and working hard and suffering and struggling, and all of those things are kind of elevated in our culture. I don't think I'm alone in having thought about having fun as something frivolous. That for me, for most of my life, the notion of fun was just frivolous and kind of something that I didn't have a lot of respect for. And now, as I'm learning more about shaping the brain, I'm recognizing how important it is to cultivate these delicious feelings, these sensual experiences that we embody, that we're able to metabolize. So Robin says, okay, connection issues, I'm back. Well, good. We didn't even know you were gone, Robin, but we're glad you're back. So cultivating good feelings, we can now recognize, is something that we have the capability to do, to actually literally, physically improve and affect our health and well-being. So we've been talking a lot about the limbic system. Limbic system is the fight and flight system. When it gets locked into a pattern of fight and flight, all kinds of stuff goes wrong in the system. Autoimmune things, behavioral things, emotional things, all of it kind of goes haywire. And so by practicing new pathways, by allowing ourselves to flood our bodies with these very positive chemistry sets that are kicked off by emotion, we're actually literally creating physiological change. And so rather than an indulgence, to find ways to feel those delicious feelings, rather than being indulgent, it's really valuable, important self-care and self-healing. And my question for you is, what are you going to do, or how will you spend time dedicating some time to cultivating these these synapses and neural pathways? Because truly, we spend all kinds of time worrying, right? Don't even think twice about it, usually. Don't even notice when we do it, usually. And why not be cultivating the goodness? So what kinds of things, something that is delightful to me, that I just, it lights me up and I cherish it. Like right now, as we're in the cold portion, or maybe the coldest portion of winter, seeing the flowers pop up for the spring, hearing the birds singing, is just so much a gift. Rosalind says, even on a day with no sun, a sauna or a bath is soothing. Absolutely. I love taking a sauna. And a friend of mine had gotten a sauna, and she found that it just wasn't working for her. So I'm babysitting it. And so I've been having the luxury of a sauna on a regular basis. And that also it's really soothing and wonderful. And I really enjoy it. And so looking for the things that we enjoy, seeking that kind of emotional experience that we can elevate and accentuate is something that I invite us all to incorporate into our practices. So many times I think we can, I don't know about you, but I can tend to get way serious most of the time. I mean, even as a kid, I was very, very serious. And so learning to play, learning to be playful, learning to find these energized and happy emotions, is a reprogramming. And I noticed that I avoid it sometimes, I think because it's unfamiliar. It's breaking an old habit, like a big time habit, and truly neural pathways to be reconditioning, to be able to say, hey, I'm enjoying life, instead of I'm working through life, or surviving, or, you know, to be moving the needle from living to vital aliveness. And I don't know, but I don't think I'm alone in the challenge of that. And it's a worthy quest, and it is its own reward, which is pretty cool, actually. You know, to very simply, so I had spent a lot of my life being very depressed, very, very depressed. I mastered it. And I have clients that go through very deep emotional states as well. And what I notice is that all of us have the ability to talk ourselves into a state. And that state can be really low, really high, or anywhere in between. And probably most of the folks that are patterned to the really low states, it's not really natural to kick ourselves into a positive state. And what I've noticed in some of my clients is that that pattern of the low state is so deeply entrenched that we'll go to a high state, we'll be in a high state, and then they'll say, and they'll start something about what recently happened, and they'll start taking themselves down into a spiral, down back in negative state, because it's familiar. And so for them, it feels more real in some way. It feels familiar, and to be in an unfamiliar state has its own discomfort to it, because then I don't know who I am. If I'm in a state that is unfamiliar, who am I now? Right? And there's a part of our other than conscious that just sort of wants to keep the status quo. You know, that maybe that's the limbic system, whatever it is. It wants to keep the status quo and kind of fights to assert that familiar pattern. And that's why it takes deliberate conscious practice to say, okay, what feels good? Like if we set timers for like every hour and spend at least 5 minutes every hour creating elevated emotions, and then enriching them and expanding them, what might be the effect of that as it bubbles out into our lives? So Rosalind says, in a deep meditation, the downpour of energy on the crown chakra and feeling the energy travel down the spine, body sensations without the drugs. Fun, 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 Rosalind. Wow. Very beautiful. And what's happening what's happening when we have sensation? There's electrical energy synapses, there's chemistry changing, there's physiology. You know, every day that we start our morning musings, we, at the end of the deep breaths, we rub our hands together and talk about how we get to feel the sensation, to presence ourselves to this remarkable physical form that enables us to experience life. Let's think about this. All our experience of life is through this body. This body is the vehicle of life's expression, right? The bodies, the physiology, the physical manifestation is the way that we as consciousness get to experience life. And there is a deliciousness in that. We don't step back and appreciate, oh my gosh, my fingers. I mean, we could even just get delight feeling the sensation in the tips of our fingers when we rub them together. It's like, wow, that what's happening? What is that? It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And when we presence ourselves to the fact that we're not just functioning in life, but that this body is our vehicle. This body is inseparable from life itself. And how remarkable, how amazing is that if we step back and appreciate it. And this is, another way that we can find delight is to bring ourselves present to the magic of a moment where we experience, where we allow ourselves to experience. And so with these emotions, we have the ability to talk ourselves down or talk ourselves up. And I've seen it for myself over and over and over. I see it in just how we do this, but we do it unconsciously so often. And this is one of the reasons that I say so frequently how important it is that we curate our stories, because our stories are either taking us up or taking us down on that frequency scale. And so we can create an emotion by remembering something that was wonderful, for example, or making up a scenario that is just magical and wonderful and delicious. And even just saying that word delicious amplifies the experience of the emotion for me. I don't know if that's so for you, but I guess I'm very gustatory or oral, where just the taste of something, the deliciousness of something is just, I don't know if you've ever had something that tasted so delicious and you can't resist doing the happy food dance. It's like that we can actually create that experience for ourselves. And if you give yourself that gift, you can feel it elevating your energy. You can feel it energizing you and enlivening you. And when we are elevated, we elevate the field, we elevate those around us. So I have this one client whose highest value is fun. And she educated me to how fun is sacred, like how fun is a path to, well, to consciousness, if you want to call it God or consciousness or awareness, awakening, or life, vitality, that fun is an expression of the goodness. And that as we express the goodness, we are connecting with the greater good, the overriding good. And up until that conversation, I realized that I was kind of a serious snob where I just dismissed fun as kind of an indulgence rather than a sacred kind of intention and experience. So going into this weekend, I invite you to find ways to bring these positive emotions into your experience, to find ways to have fun or to feel wonder and awe and delight and just allow yourself to metabolize the deliciousness. So to digest it to make it a part of you, so that not only are you feeling enlivened, but you then elevate those around you. So yeah, good stuff. I hope that you will take that invitation to heart and body and spirit. So I think I have another meeting that I need to get to. And so I think I might wrap early today. But I want to say, as always, thank you, thank you, thank you for this forum, for your joining us, for your engagement, your insights and wisdom, and the opportunity that you present me to be able to share this. It enlivens me in a very big way. So I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And by the way, gratitude is another way to elevate. I mean, gratitude is a delicious feeling. And we can then allow ourselves to amplify that by making it bigger, by um, allowing, maybe even adding some wonderful sound or scent or taste or color or motion. Anyway, that's it. And again, deep, deep gratitude. So I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. I go live here each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I invite you to please like and follow the Enlightened World Network YouTube channel, as well as mine. The links are in the description. And blessings to you. Thank you, Robin. Blessings to all. Until next time, so much love.